Hello everyone and welcome to our new painting tutorial. Today we're going to paint the spirit of the forest, and this idea came from my subscriber Dot. This comment gave me the idea to start a poll on what miniature do you like to paint next. So at the end of the video there is 5 figures to choose. So as always I began from removing the mold lines. At this mini it was a bit more difficult to remove the mold lines because there are more details along it. We always try to make the mini look more realistic. To do so at this mini I first drilled the holes on the hands. I also drilled big holes at some wooden parts. After that, I drilled holes in the mini and the head and mount them at core caps. Because I couldn't drill holes at the hands, I used blue tack and a piece of wood. I adjust my compressor at 30 to 35 psi and I start applying grey primer. The primer is not diluted, it's just straight from the bottle. I wanted the base coat to be a bit dark. That is why we begin to base coat with camel brown and black in mix 1:1. At the stage of base coating where there is not many details, we adjust the compressor at 20 psi. But don't forget when you are using colors that there must be very well thinned. At this point, my colors is thinned in ratio 1:1. I used more black to create the first shadows. With black green I base coated all the green parts like leaves and ivies. And because many of you are asking, my airbrush is a hardened Steenberg Infinity CR Plus with 0.15 needle. The first highlights were made with Russian green. The second highlights were made with camel light green. The thing that cuts up the eye in this mini is the wooden parts. That is why we will make many highlights to pop up the details. So the first highlight were made with camel medium brown. Then the second highlight was made with US flat brown. Now we adjust the compressor at 15 psi, we dilute very well the paint and we do the last highlight with light brown. Because the shadows were very sharp, I dry brushed them with sand brown. Now with bone white I dry brushed only the highest highlights. Now we are going to highlight all the greens. At this point we will make all the highlights with dry brush. The first highlight was made with olive green. The second highlight was made with lime green. Now, as always, two things about the Mini. First of all, this Mini is again from Reaper Bone series. It comes in 4 parts, 2 hands, 1 head, 1 body, and it has a really many details. It is a Mini that is a bit big, and I can say it's pretty easy to paint it. Once again, recommend it. I painted the ivy with smoke. Then I highlighted with khaki brown. Now, after sealing the paint with matte varnish, I applied oil wash to the Mini. For green wash I used Viridian Hue, but I have to say that it is not the right oil wash I should use. The result was having a green oil wash out of any other green I already used. Maybe a little Van Dyke brown would make the difference. With white spirit and a sponge I removed all the excess oil paint. At this point you have to decide how the final result of the Mini look like. It will be cartoony or it will be aggressive. If you want cartoony, you will have to choose vivid colors. If you want an aggressive, then you will have to choose dark colors. And of course I chose cartoony. I base coated the mushrooms with bone white. Then with white I base coated all the details I wanted to pop up later, like flowers or grapes. This is a very important part if you want your colors look vivid. I painted the upper parts of the mushrooms with a mix of blush pink and sunset red. The highlight was made using sunset red and adding more and more pink to the mixture. No, I don't add dots at the mushrooms because I like smurfs. If you want your mushrooms to look poisonous, it must have dots. So with white and a very small brush like a 3O, I painted the first dots. I repeated this stage for about 2 to 3 times. Yeah, go smurfs! With Amarantha red I painted the thing on his back that looked like a corn and some grapes. With royal purple I painted the rest of the grapes. I used Dracu Violet to the recesses on this corn thing. Now with the previous color I highlighted the parts that I had already painted. The rest of the mushrooms I painted with ochre. I used sepia shade between the mushrooms and at the lower parts of the mushrooms. This will give a more dusty and natural effect. I highlighted the yellow mushrooms with gold yellow. The final highlight was made with a touch of sand yellow. I highlighted the grapes with violet blue. With the same color I base coated some purple flowers. The center of the flowers were painted with lime green. I highlighted the flowers with amethyst purple. Now with lime green I painted the rest of the flowers. Now carefully with green shade I washed the leaves and I highlighted them with livery green. Tip: if you believe that your highlights is very sharp, let them dry for about 24 hours and see them again. If you do that, you will notice that the highlights is not that sharp as the previous day. Why that? Because the water makes the paint look shinier until it evaporates. The final highlight is a touch of a Florence yellow. Happy news! At this mini I choose to paint the eyes with no eyeballs. As you can easily understand, this will be a piece of cake. I started painting the eyes with ivory and then with livery green. To make the OSL effect, I adjust the compressor at 10 psi, I diluted very well white paint and I spray it around the eyes. Then I spray it again with livery green. And as always the easiest part, I assembled the mini. Now for the base I decided to use a cup of a tomato can. As you can see it was bendy, so I tried to support it with a hard cardboard. Of course you can use other materials like a clay or a resin, but this is the cheapest one. Now, after sanding it a bit, I applied grey primer. Because the PVA glue will not cover all the details, I painted the base with Russian green and pale green. I applied PVA glue, a lot PVA glue to the base. I bought these bushes from a train model store. It is very easy to find them and are pretty cheap. So I applied them randomly to the base. I used static grass to cover the gaps of the base. I also added some small pieces on the mini. Nice idea, huh? So that's it, the model is ready and look like this. Now let's go to the poll. You can vote easily just leaving a comment down here on YouTube. The poll will last until Sunday, March 16. At this day I will gather all the comments and I'll choose the mini. So thanks again my subscriber Outdot for your lovely comment. And let's go to the minis. The Barbarian Hero, the Damien Hellborn Wizard, the Eye Beast, the Night Spectre, and the Nora Katin. Thank you for watching. You can always comment, like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again in the next time. Bye!